ago that I didn't know how to drive a golf cart. I do have one little anecdote I want to tell you, and I even have a title for this anecdote, and that is Poetic Justice. We travel often down to Longview, where Ted and Kendra live, and spend the weekend, and oftentimes when they have something going in Seattle, they come and spend the time with us. About 3 years ago, I'm prone to tell my grandchildren tall tales. Like I landed on your roof, I jumped out of a plane. Or I was on the moon last night. And Ben, their oldest boy, would always go to Ted and say, "Is that true, Daddy?" And Ted would say, "No." So Beverly picked up on that and decided to tell the children to call me Rongo Bongo. I have been Rongo Bongo for 3 years, at least, and they tease me by every time I see them by saying, "You're Rongo Bongo." Of course, Beverly sits back and smiles. Really enjoys it. Well, one weekend we're going to go down to Longview. And prior to that time, about 10 days before that, I had gone to a dermatologist because I had these sunspots all over my face. And I wanted to have him freeze them off, but he says, "You got too many. I'm going to give you a prescription for a topical cream called Effudex." Maybe some of you have heard of it or used it. Anyway, I put this topical cream on, and what it did was actually reduce my face to look like I was a leper, for one.
Looks like mine, right?
Yeah. But I was a target for shotgun practice. Well, anyway, we went down to Longview, and the kids are funny. They never said a word about it. I mean, it was amazing. But my sweet wife decided to bring it up. So she said to Ben, "Why don't you call Rongo Bongo Spot?" Well, Ben said, "I have a little stuffed Dalmatian puppy, and I call him Spot." And then Beverly said, "Well, why don't you call Rongo Bongo Spot Spot?" And Ben said, "Well, Thomas has a little puppy too, and we call him Spot Spot." Well, not to be discouraged, Beverly, in her relentless pursuit to torment me, said, "Why don't you call him Spot Spot Spot?" Well, Ben thought about this for a minute, and he said, "Okay, I'll call him Spot Spot Spot," and looking directly at Beverly said, "And I'll call you Wrinkle Wrinkle." It's funny how haven't forgotten that. Okay, I'd like to go start in this end of the table, Ted.
Yeah, it's a true story. Ben still doesn't live that one down, but anyway, thank you all for coming. It means a lot to us, obviously, and to show your support for Mom, and you're all such great friends. I recognize so many faces here today, and I just want to say thank you for your all being here. And when I was thinking about what I was going to say today, I was trying to think of words that kind kind of match my mom's personality. And the one that I kept thinking of is supportive. I mean, she's the most supportive person. You know, even back in Franklin High School, she was on the song leader, you know, supporting Franklin, hats off to you. And we heard that a lot growing up. But, you know, she's so supportive of our family and our children, and in everything we do, it seems like we can't do anything wrong because she's going to support us no matter what we do, which has just been such a backbone for all of us growing up. But I think one of the things that really amazes me about Gigi is that she's so supportive of George W. Bush and his policies on the way she just rallies around the flag and supports our president and everything that he stands for is really meaningful to me. That being said, I couldn't come up with just one story, so I'm not going to tell any. But I just wanted to again say thank you all for being here, and as the youngest in this family and the first one to bring a grandchild into it, I think the most important son. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and thank you, and Mom, we love you. And seeing your face here was worth $1 million. So that was great. I love you.
First of all, I wanted to say that I won the lottery because I'm Beverly Sprague's daughter, only daughter. You can just imagine how loved and just enjoyed I've felt for my whole life, that with such a fun and loving mom. And I just hope that now that I'm a parent, I can be as much of an oasis of love and fun and support as you've been for me. So I am an adopted mom, and my son is from Korea. And when you adopt internationally, you go through a lot of paperwork, and they do something called a home study, where a social worker comes and they interview you about your life and how you were brought up. And so we've been through it twice now because we just finished the process for our daughter. And when I answer all these questions, one thing just comes up over and over, and that is how important humor has been in our growing up and in our family. And I think that it's just the best gift that you can give, because it helps you get through everything and it makes life more fun. And so growing up with Mom was a lot of fun. She sort of made everything fun. And you know, a lot of kids have you know, goals and aspirations and things that they get into. Some kids go out for sports and they're really dedicated to that. Some kids are really good in school, they get straight A's and things like that. And you know, we had some goals growing up as well. And Ted and I, in particular, had one important hobby, I guess you could call it. And that was to make Mom laugh so hard that she would pee her pants. Process to it, you know, we would see that something was sort of catching her, you know, and maybe she would start sort of tearing up, laughing so hard. And so we knew we'd caught something, and so we'd just keep going, and she'd say, "Stop, I'm gonna pee my pants." And she'd sort of cross her legs, and knew that we had really hit pay dirt when she had to run upstairs and change her clothes. So it's just, you know, they instilled in us that importance of having goals and meeting them. Okay, so that's my little story. But we love you, Mom, and it was just so great to see you come in here today. We've been dying for 3 months, I'll tell you. Dad and I were like, it'll be a miracle if we don't say anything. And Dad would have to wait till Mom left the house to call me because they share an email address, and Dad would sneak over to my house and bring the addresses or the photo albums and things like that. So it's been a lot of fun, and I just thank you all for being here. It's the greatest.
Well, Mom, I was thinking about what I would say, and words can't describe having a mom like you. And not not very often do we get a chance to express that about our parents, so I was kind of excited to tell you how thankful I am to you. And there's, this is the time of the year where, we kind of reflect on our relationships and the people we have in our lives. And, my mom has been a pinnacle in my life. I believe that we're all given parents for a certain reason. And when I was a younger kid, I had a lot of problems, and my mom was right there for me every step of the way, and I don't think I'd be here today if it wasn't for her. The best thing my mom ever did for me was I was about 19 years old, and I was all messed up, and I came home thinking I could come back in the house again. She answered the front door and she said, "You're not coming back here." She loved me so much that she kicked me out, and it was the first time in my life where I said, "You better get your stuff together, pal." And that takes a lot of love. It's only an incredible mom with a lot of strength to do that. A couple other things that I'm really thankful to you for is that you gave me a faith in God, and it carries me in my life today. And I don't think there's any gift that a parent can give their kid than a faith, because there's so many times in life where it's not easy and you're just going, "God, what do I do here?" And you guys gave me that. And the other thing is, my mom is very vulnerable. Whenever she opens up a card, she's crying. Whenever, and it's just so awesome. She taught us that, well, she taught me that it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to express your feelings and say how you feel. And there's just so much love flowing out of you all the time. I could sit here for hours and talk about everything. The last thing that I'm thankful for is I really believe you take your family with you wherever you go. Whether you're at work, whether you're at a concert, whether you're playing golf. And I always feel like I got my mom right here on my shoulder, and I got the rest of my family with me, and it gives me such strength. So I'm just a grateful son, so happy that today happened, so happy you didn't find out.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming. David, oldest son. Dad asked us to be funny, and I'm always very rebellious, so I'm not going to be funny.
That's funny.
Shut up. Humor, sense of humor. I mean, Mom passed that on to us, and it's become a part of my business life where I tell my clients, I go, "I won't work with you unless you have a sense of humor," and I mean it. We have so much fun. We have so much fun as a family. I mean, at holidays, it's crazy, and it's all because of Mom, because she's nuts. Mom changed her name to Diane, and then Ted's oldest son, instead of calling her Grandma, calls her Gigi, so we call her Mom, Bev, Diane, Gigi. Because you never know who you're talking to. So I'm very grateful for my mother and her sense of humor, and she's instilled it in me, and I am funny. And honor is the other emotion I want to express today. I'm so honored that I call my mom every day. And we talk about that. That wasn't funny. So thank you all for coming very much. We appreciate it.
Before I open it up to the audience, would Raleigh Hofstede please stand? Today is actually Raleigh Hofstede's birthday.
Thank you for all the presents.
just like to invite anybody who has something to say about Beverly to stand up and speak your piece.
I thought you'd be first.
Actually, I'm second. Beverly and I had a deal a long time ago. What happens here stays here. She had such a good deal marrying a Sprague. I did the same thing. I told that to my sister. Other than that, we've had a very boring life. And I'm just pleased as I can possibly be to be here with my little sister to wish her a happy birthday, which you will get again on the phone. 24th, which is her actual. Thank you all for coming.
May I? My name is Ed Baker. This is my wife, Joan. We were Tom and Bev's neighbors until we moved.
Tom and Diane.
Unfortunately, we have written a poem. Tom mentioned poetic justice. I would call this one poetic injustice. But you can decide for yourself. It's cleverly named for Bev. Sing we now the traits of Beverly Travis Sprague. To express it quite poetically, Bev is a really good name. Versatile too. Family, crosswords, tennis, anyone. And let us not omit her famous hole in one. We're sure her upbeat attitude helps in life for Beverly. Just notice how she hides her age so cleverly. So happy birthday, Bev, on reaching 70. And many, many more will just be heavenly.
Tom. My name is Jim Callahan. I was a cherry brother of Tom's, but more importantly, I was the family dentist. Right after Tom and Bev, I think right after they were married, we were discussing something. I let her talk. That's an unusual place, but I did. Well, actually, it's hard to keep her. But anyway, she told me that she'd gone out with lots of fellows, but that Tom Sprague was the first one that was really different. Now, Bill, I have two questions. Did you know he was that different? And are you still happy with him being different?
Bev since we were sophomore in high school, and Beverly had a lot of
Boyfriends.
And one of them particularly was Bob Spellman. Well, Bob had taken me out a couple times on a date, and then I think Beverly double dated with us. And pretty soon, Bev and Bob were going steady.
Where is this all going?
Well, I got Shelley on the rebound.
I met Bev when we were both in seniors in high school, and I taught 8th grade for a number of years, and I always told the story of me meeting Bev when we did a little lesson on not judging people too quickly, because we met in the city badminton tournament. We were in the quarterfinals, and I had gone to Forest Ridge, all girls at school for 12 years, and I felt I was a real jock, and I'm afraid I might have looked like one too. And I came out in the badminton court, and here was this really cute, little, darling, glamorous public high school girl. Oh, goodness. Well, the horrible part was that she was really a good badminton player. And I won't even talk about who won, but time I'll be darned if I don't meet that same cute little glamorous. And would you believe that we pledged the same sororities? And as luck would have it, we spent hours and hours discussing all of these great important ideas of life. And as years went on, I found that this lady had a lot of wisdom, as I'm sure you've all experienced. And I go on to tell my 8th graders, and can you believe that I was in her wedding, she was in my wedding. I taught all of her students, her children, I mean, they were my students, except David, I just a little bit in passing. I was their daughter's godmother, and the 8th graders going, this is just fabulous. And then we had meetings in my classroom. They all wanted to know which one was the one, which one is the one. So what is the message we learn is you don't judge anybody too quickly. Because you may have somebody like that.
On the badminton. We had a lot in Crown Baker that had an extra court next door to it. And Beverly and I became very good badminton players. And we invited the Sprague people over to play that. They were not competitive at all. They loved to lose. Don't ever be in a swimming pool playing basketball with the Sprague people. Poor girls.
Yeah, poor girls.
Anyway, we knocked their ass.
Anybody else?
My name is Don Kraft, and this is my wife, Midge. And we're not related in any way. We're not fraternity or sorority sisters. Actually, a real estate agent invited us to come up and look at the place here, and we saw there was a party going on.
And he found out I was his attorney.
We're here because we just like Bev and Tom. I don't know whether that applies to anybody that's spoken to. I'd like to propose a toast and acknowledge St. Beverly and spot. And we have a little toast here. Here's to Beverly. She's true blue. She's upbeat through and through. Even with havoc all over the place, she'll be the one with a smile on her face. As a mom and a wife, Beverly is Beverly. Oh, excuse me. As mom and a wife, and even with friends, Beverly is Beverly. She never bends. There are a few things that you can count on, like death, taxes, and the such. But we can always count on Beverly, and we love her so much. Here's to Beverly.
I'd just like to say how much fun it is to play tennis with Beth. After many years, you know, you're on the, it's always, oh, gosh, you're just awesome, you're great. When you have a bad day, she'll say, I don't know what's wrong today, but I know you can do better. I know you can do better. However, that's what she does to her and your partner. But she's just the same way about herself. She hits a bad shot, she'll say, dork. And then when she hits a good shot, it's, oh, thank you, Jesus. And so long, we're ready to serve the next shot, and Bev's still thanking us. It's a fun time always, Bev.
there's just one other thing that I think we should say is that this family has been blessed to have people like you in our lives. You can really judge a person by their friends. You guys are incredible people, and you warmed our hearts, and you so thank you. Thank you for everything you've done in our lives as well as besides being my mom's friend. And thanks to the people that came up in California for this event, family and friends. That was awesome, you guys. And last but not least, my brother Ted said, you know, Pat, I don't know if we could get away with having a party for Mom without somebody singing it. You're the best singer in the family, so there being a chance that you'd be willing to sing the song. I said, Ted, I don't know if I can do that, but I did have one more story about Mom, real quick. There's only one thing that my mom has ever done wrong to me in my life, or that I've seen her do wrong. I'm gonna bring it up. I was 22 when I had a pair of black shoes about like these, and they didn't fit right. And my mom got them from Ross Dress for Less, so she goes, well, that's okay. We'll just take them back and get another pair. So we went back to Ross, and we went into the shoe area, and she grabbed a pair that was at least 5 times as much money as the one I had on. And I'm looking at her, and she goes, these will be fine. Boom, out the door. Mom, where'd you go? Those are like 5 times as much. She goes, I shop there all the time, don't worry about it. Anyway, this is a song previously written by Shania Twain, and we changed it a little bit.
And if your drink's empty, you may want one right now.
Yes, those are.
I'll meet you, not my
Join in, you can clap if you want. I've known a few guys who thought they were pretty smart, but you got the right down to the heart. You think you're a genius, you drive me up the wall. You're a regular, real original, no. Oh, you think you're special. Oh, you think something else. Okay, so you're a microbiologist. That don't impress me much. You got the brains, but you got the touch. Don't get me wrong, yeah, I think you're alright. But you keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. I never knew a guy who carried in his pocket and a comb on his sleeve just in case. And all that extra hole gel in your hair ought to look it. I'm the lock key, sorry guys. 7 for finishing the place. Oh, you think you're special? Oh, am I embarrassing you, Dad? Okay, so you like to shop at Ross. That won't impress me much. So you got the looks, but you ain't got the touch. Don't get me wrong, yeah, I think you're alright. But that ain't gonna keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much.
I've got to say,
Okay, you guys.
that was not my idea.
I just wanted to. Mom, of course. There's some of you might know this song, having been the recipient of it on your birthdays. And so anyone who would like to join in, we're now going to lead a rendition of Happy Birthday, Happy. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. This is your day to have a lot of fun. Happy birthday, happy birthday. This is your day to have a lot of fun.
I had to outdo it. Every one of my kids plays an instrument. I will get this over the phone. So we get Marie on the piano and George. We have a lot of musical instruments. She would sit there, she didn't listen, she just giggled. Such appreciation for great music. You're still going to get one on the phone.
Well, I know you all are dying to get up and say something, aren't you? I think you're chickens. Click, click. Pollyanna.
I'll tell something.
You asked for it. Yes.
Bring it on, bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on.
I'll never forget when Bev, loves to dance. She's very musical and really loves to dance. And one time, the Spragues and the Radoviches were down at your heart. No, it was Lincoln City. Take it back. Staying in a nice place on the beach. And we went in for a lovely dinner in the dining room. And it was a very quiet night. There weren't many people in there. But we had our drinks and our dinner. And that was before my husband quit drinking. And so there was a little live music there that night. And so, we were talking about, well, we ought to get up and dance for crying out loud. Well, Tom doesn't really dig dancing all that. So John said, come on, Bev, I'll dance with you. They were in very comfortable, rounded back chairs that were on those shepherd casters,
Yeah.
They wheeled out onto the dance floor in these chairs and started whipping around. And I got a little miffed and I joined them. I don't think you ever did. But anyway, that showed her love for dancing. And what fun she was then, too.
That was 100 years ago.
Yes, it was.
This is a good one.
Okay.
Let's see.
Voting skills?
Yeah, your water skills, your water sporting skills. Well, we go on our birthdays someplace and usually go to Sue's or my place across the sound in the summer. So we went out in the boat. I can't quite remember how this went. You can help me out on this. But we have the rowboat. We get out to the speedboat and we went around in the speedboat. And we first, okay, and did just fine, really. And then now it's time to come back and tie up to the buoy and transfer to the rowboat to go into the shore. And there's 7 of us, so we have to go in stages. So I don't know why, but I think
You were selected the most seaworthy.
yeah, and a good rower. I rowed a lot, so I was a rower. So now the rest of them are on the boat, and Bev's turn to come in. So she's transferring from the boat. We wish we'd had a movie camera like this. It's like an accident comedy. But she's transferring from the cruiser into the boat, and I don't know. She gets her leg down on there, and then oh yeah, she had her sunglasses on, her little hat. She just looked so pretty. And then the two things separated. What could she do? She ended up in the water. So, or no, she
went in the water.
She hit the rowboat first and then rolled over the rowboat. and the ones on the boat. And the visor, she kept her sunglasses on. So now I'm really worried. I'm rowing because I'm worried about that because sound, and the sound is only 40 degrees. You know, you can get there in a very short time. And Jeff's so skinny, so I knew she didn't have much body fat, so I had to roll real fast. So I'm rowing, and Bev's hanging on to the back. I said, Bev, we'll be there. It's not real dark. And we forgot to untie the rowboat.
However, you forgot the fact that Deb was not upset about falling in the water. She was upset about losing her hat. I'm Barbara Bigelow, and I did not grow up with Deb. I did not go to school. I did not go to university with her. But I've known her for 40 years. When we first arrived here, and through those 40 years, we have become wonderful friends, and I agree with whatever everyone has said about her. The thing I love about Beth is that she's so honest. And you cannot get away with concern. And so Beth, I love our friendship. And thank you for what you've brought into our life and for a great concert. And I love all of your family. And Tom.
You got me in a whole lot of shit.
Well, one of the first times I met Bev, I think this is a party at our beach house or something. She was in a bathing suit. Oh my gosh, she's so good at bathing suit. That was years and years ago. And I saw her in Hawaii like last year, and she still looks at it.
If you get one more that says something nice about you.
Please feel free to draw some more food and have another drink. And let's have cake. Let's visit.